Good morning, Flosstube. I'm Tanya the Starlit Stitcher, and welcome to my channel all about cross stitch. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me this morning and spending some time with me today. Today's going to be a little on the shorter end of a video for me, but that's going to be all right. I do have some news towards the end that I'm going to talk about a little bit, so let's go ahead and get straight into what I worked on in this last week. I do have a start and a finish that I did. This is from Kooler Design Studio, Encyclopedia of Puppies. And what I did is the Shar-Pei puppy right here. Now this is going to be turned into an ornament for my mom. And I've also decided to change the colors into 3 additional colors so that there will be a total of 4 different Shar-Pei puppy ornaments. And so this first one, this is how it came out. Now this is just the colors as charted. This is the cream color, and I chose to do it on a 28 count white opalescent Lugana. I haven't stitched on opalescent Lugana before. I've only ever stitched on opalescent Ada, so this was a little different. It looks okay to look at it, but when I went to go stitching on it, I mean, it wasn't, I expected to have a little bit of struggles with the sparklies and all of that. I mean, that's kind of a given when you're working with opalescent and with a raw silver linen and all of that. But what I didn't expect was on this particular fabric, I probably can't get it to show on video. Yeah, it's not gonna show, but with a Lugana, you expect all of the threads of the fabric to be the same width, which it kind of looks like that from a distance. But up close, when I got to stitching on it, I found that some of the fabric threads were a little bit fatter and some of them were a little bit thinner, kind of like what you might see on a linen. I mean, not to the extent of what you would see on a linen, but there was a difference. So that kind of threw me off a little bit when I started my stitching. But once I got, you know, like 10 or so stitches in, then I was good to go and it was fine. So like, I don't know, that description feels kind of weird talking about it, because then people are going to be like, oh no, I don't want to stitch on that because it's going to be like linen and I don't know if I can handle that. No, it's not really extensive. It's just like if you expect for all of the fabric threads to be perfectly the same as each other like in any other Lugana, apparently that's not the case with this opalescent kind. So it's just kind of more of a heads up to those who didn't expect it, because I know I sure didn't when I went to go and stitch on this. But it's okay. It's just fine. See? Not too scary. And so I had originally planned to get this FFO'd fully finished to give to my mom for her birthday in June, because I will be seeing her on my way back from California. Yeah, but I decided that I'm going to hang on to it until I have the other 3 done, and then they'll all get put together. So now I need to figure out something else to do for my mom for her birthday. I don't know, I'll probably just do a gift card or something. But I kind of felt like to get all of them finished like as symmetrically as I can, and maybe not the same backing fabrics and all of that, but like, you know, a little bit more matchy or whatever with each other. I should probably do them all at the same time. If that makes any sense. Anyhow, so there was that project. Next up, I have Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. And this is going very well. So last week when I showed you this, I was getting towards the bottom of over here. I had finished the big house and did this potted plant in there and a little bit of the border corner here, and then I was fixing to get ready to come back up here. And so let me show you to where I got. Here it is. Oh, it's kind of big, guys. Oh, it's so big. So yeah, I did the cat and the dog and part of this plant that's here in the middle, and I finished out the border that was down there on that page. I put in the American flag that's up there. I mean, it's not accurate because it totally has more red and white stripes than what a real one would, but you know, who's really looking other than me? I don't know. But I came back up to the top and I did, oh gosh, I can't see what I'm doing. It's too big. So yeah, I put the border out to here. It was, I think, to this flower here. So from there, that way is new. I did from the I to the P and from the X to the 3 and this little bird with this star thingy. Okay? But this is going really well. I'm so happy with this. And there we go. Put that off to the side. Okay, and then next up is my Heaven and Earth design. This is called Unicorn Poop for Sale, and the artist is Sheena Pike. That's what it will look like once it's done. This is my focus project for Mania. Instead of doing a whole bunch of, or starting a whole bunch of new things, or working on a whole bunch of stuff, I'm mainly focusing into this one. Because before I was only doing it once a week, or one day a week rather, and now it's getting most of the days of the week. And so last week when I showed you this, okay, so we're still on the top row of pages, I had gotten to about there and some of the blue sky on the following page. So let me show you where it's at this week. Look how cute it is. So there we go. I've got that page done now. And so now I'll be ready to move on to page 6. Now my goal during May is to get at least up to page 8 done before May is over. See, I'm doing it again. This thing is too big for me to see. Now, so to meet that goal, I still have to do page 6, page 7, and page 8. Now, 2 things to remember. When I finish this page 5 with those 2 leaves, that's the only confetti that's in the rest of what I want to do for Mania. The rest of it is basically just only 3 colors. It's 2 different blues and the white. And so there's no more confetti in those remaining 3 pages. Also, something else to think about is page 8 is only like a quarter of the size of the other pages. So 3 pages sounds like a lot to get done in the next couple weeks, but it's not as much as what it sounds like. But anyhow, there it is. I love the way that this is coming out. And so far, so good for Mania progress on this. And there we go. And bonus stitching. Here is my bonus stitching project. Now this one is called the bonus stitch because it's an 11 count kit and it's stamped. So it's really big and it's super easy to see. This is what I do usually in the evenings when I've already been stitching on other stuff. It's a lot easier for me to see, and I can also do it when I'm kind of tired, which trying to stitch other stuff when I'm tired usually does not end well. Yeah, frogging episodes and such like that. So that's why I do these. This one is going to be turned into a pillow for Christmas for one of my nieces, and once this one is done, I have 2 others to do, not of the same design. The designs will be different, so it won't be 3 of the exact same, but they're all about the same size. But there we go. So this week on it, I pretty much did the bow, and I filled in some belly over here and on some legs. I think I did this leg this week. I don't remember. I might have just did the back stitch. I might have had this wreath filled in already last week, but I definitely did the back stitch. And yeah, so that's where it's at. I might finish this before June. Maybe. So that is where it's at. And that's all that there is stitching wise for this week. So it is fairly short, like I expected. And so now to talk about what needs to be talked about. Okay, so I've been doing my videos for a while now, and I've been thinking for a bit about how I could, make my videos better, make the channel better. And so I have made the executive decision that future uploads are going to be fewer in between. I mean, there's going to be more time in between them. So up until this point, I've been filming and uploading every week. And so going forward, that's going to be reduced to maybe every other week or once a month or however, depending on what else is going on. And I think that will help my videos be better for my viewers. I should be able to show more progress, which is always awesome to see. And I also think that I will have more stuff to talk about besides just showing the projects, because some people like to turn on Flosstube and sit there and stitch to it while they're listening to people talking. And so I think that will help me gather stuff to talk about. I mean, along with the showing, if that makes any sense. And so there will be fewer videos, which I'm not really sure how my subscribers are going to respond to that news, I guess. But I'm hopeful that it will make the videos that do go up a lot more exciting. I hope. And so, yeah. But yeah, a lot of that is, like I said, I want to be able to show more progress, because with the way that I do my projects, I don't have a million whips going on. I have a lot fewer whips than most other Flosstubers. And so with my weekly videos, it's hey, you get to see this for the 50th time. And I don't know, some people might feel kind of bored about that. And especially right now, since I do have a couple of really big projects going on, because I have the Heaven and Earth design, which the goal isn't to finish that this year, but still, it's going to be slower progress. That's just the nature of the beast. But then there's Pandemic, and that's really, really big, super big, and it's halfway done. So it is making progress, but it does take a bit. Okay, that's just how it is. And then there's Land That I Love, which is also pretty big. I mean, bigger than what most people would expect it to be looking at it until they go to stitch it in person. You're like, oh, that is pretty big. And so those are taking me a bit to get through. So I think that, yeah, having the more time in between uploads will kind of, generate a little bit more because you'll see way more on those bigger projects getting done. And once my bigger projects are done and I'm working on smaller ones, then you'll see more progress on those too, and more finishes too in between one video to the next. And then plus, like I said, gathering other things to talk about other than just the showing, so that you don't have to have your eyeballs glued to the screen like this to make sure you actually see everything. And I don't know, so we're gonna see how that goes. But I just wanted to give you all a heads up that that's what's going to be happening, so you don't think I fell off the planet or something, because yeah, I am fine. I'm all right. I'm just scaling back a bit, and that'll be okay. And so that being said, the next time I expect to film and upload will be before I leave to go to California, because I'll be making that trip in the beginning of June to go and get my daughter. I'm currently planning to leave here, which is in Arkansas, either June 1st or June 2nd. But I won't be back until around the middle of the month. But I do plan on filming and uploading, I think, May 31st, which will be the last day, so like the day before I plan to leave. And so you'll see the remainder of what I'm doing for Mania and what I plan to do throughout June and all of that before I go and make that trip. And so, yeah, thank you all for hanging in there and listening and seeing the things. Maybe put some feedback down below about what you think about that idea, whether it's good or possibly bad, I don't know. But I will see you all then. Take care, be safe, bye bye.